Again to E.Peoria Raider basketball. Matt and Ben coming at you from Allison Gymnasium at E.Peoria Community High School. Mid-Illini Conference action, and it is the Morton Potters in town to take on your Raiders tonight.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting game. You know, Morton's kind of in the middle of the pack there, the Mid-Illini. We'll see what they come up with. You know, talking to Matt Wright, we're going to need to rebound. That's been a kind of a constant all year. Of course, when you have a smaller lineup, that's going to happen. They're going to need to shoot the ball well. Those struggles have been well documented all year. And last but not least, going to close out on shooters, mentioning sophomore point guard Ryan Altenberger as somebody of particular concern. I know we were talking in the pregame, had those 6 3-pointers against normal UI. So that's going to be a concern for him.
This is a team, too, Morton has a couple of kids. E.Peoria does as well, but Morton's got kids that can score.
Yeah.
They've got kids that can play basketball from the perimeter and hit those 3-pointers. And points, as we've mentioned, have been a struggle for this team this year, and you just got to stay close. Hope for the best to stay close as long as we can here for E.Peoria.
Well, they're going to come out in a zone, you know, and they're going to try to cover that perimeter job and make them, you know, knock down those shots. Hopefully it's not you know, that eliminates the matchup, mix-up, stuff like that that can lead to open jumpers. As long as you're just responsible for that zone, that will cover a little bit better what you're looking for there. So we'll see what the 2-3 zone comes out of and see what they can go with from there. Some pretty good athletes on that Morton roster there. Altenberger, both potential D1 baseball recruits. And Bisping, an obviously well-known name in the community as well.
And it's interesting to watch this Morton team the last few years. You could kind of sense that they were beginning to turn the corner as a program and start not only fighting towards 500, but fighting for climbing their way up the ladder in the Mid-Illini Conference, well, and they've done that this year.
And I think what a lot of people have forgotten already is A.J. Youngman was supposed to be on this team. You know, already had 2 years of varsity basketball under his belt down in Kentucky where you could play as a 7th and 8th grader, and then moved the family home, and it was all set to go. And then right as they got home from the Lincoln tournament, you know, he up and transfers to Manual. So the fact that they've been able to be this competitive, even in this circumstance, I mean, that's huge.
We have a pretty good crowd on hand, an ominous weather forecast tonight, but a decent crowd for the Raiders and the Potters here tonight, and we are about ready to tip things off.
Looks like Ian Milstead, Drew Trow, Bryce Markham, Brock Crippen, and Jacob Burtis for the Raiders. Isaac Stevens up, wins the tap for Morton, and the Potters will have the ball first. And
we are underway at Allison Gymnasium. Morton clearly in the red. 3-ball right off the bat, 10 seconds into the ball game. 3-ball by Lang is up and off.
Nice rebound there by Jacob Burtis. Went up, got that in traffic, and got it up the floor safely.
So our first offensive possession for E.Peoria results in our first whistle of the ball game. Trow picks up his first.
For an illegal pick there. I was hoping for better officiating out of this crew led by Tim Brownlee, but I see I've been misguided.
It's early. We'll hope for the best. The sophomore game had a lot of whistles. So we will see what happens. Bucket underneath is Stevens, Isaac Stevens, number 34.
And that could be the kryptonite there. There's a tall, athletic player, and those have been the bane of the E.Peoria existence lately.
E.Peoria, as you noticed, defensively, been starting with a little bit of pressure in the backcourt.
Yeah, and that's strange. You know, Matt, talking to him earlier, he was looking mostly at zone, but we'll see if that is just by design or trying to wear him out a little bit. Nice pass by Drew Trow there to Jacob Burtis.
Inside out, 3-ball up and
ooh, nice job by Brock Crippen to go up and get that. Drew Trow comes down to
nice pass underneath.
Another nice pass.
Burtis, Jacob Burtis with the Raiders' first basket of the ball game, and Little will bring it across half court for Morton rather.
Looks like a 1-3-1 here with Crippen out front. That's good. Like his 6'3" length out there at the top of that. That's what you can't have, though. Can't overplay that, fortunately. Can't have that either. Offensive board there. Second
Stevens again.
Points. And there's Stevens finishing.
Making it look easy the last two possessions underneath. High percentage shots knocked it down. We're about 90 seconds into this one. The Raiders looking patient offensively.
Nice skip pass there by Burtis. Nice take by Ian Milstead. Really good look down low. Drew Travis couldn't handle it.
Would not be surprised to see a good game by Bryce Markham here tonight, if they are forced to go to that perimeter game.
You know, Bryce has been heating up a little bit as of late. He ought to be arrested. There was no school stress today. He was on his college visit to Western Illinois, which he just decided to attend the other day. And there it is, Bryce Markham from the perimeter. Just off, got it up soft on the rim. And Stevens already has 4 points and 3 boards.
Bucket up ahead up the other end. That's going to be a 3-point opportunity for Bolt.
Nice finish by Dan Bolt there. Got hit and still managed to get it up. That's a tough finish. And we may have jinxed Bryce Markham.
Second foul on the Raiders. 3-point opportunity here to extend the current 4-point lead. It is well off. We got a whistle.
Oh boy, and they're going to get a lane violation on a very
That's a
short
second
free
straight
throw.
ball game we've done.
You know, it
Do not
was
see that very often.
a point of emphasis this year. They're really working on not letting them into the lane soon, but boy, you just can't have that. And especially, I think they got Markham for it. He was on the shooter. So fortunately, Bolt leaves the second one short. Crippen comes down at the board.
Misses his second chance, and the Raiders have the ball.
Nice job by Ian Milstead there. Got to eliminate that aimless dribbling, though. Got to get right into it.
Another 3 ball up and off, right into the awaiting hands of Little, and he'll bring it across half court for the Potters.
A little bit too 3-point happy right now for the Raiders.
Another bucket by Bolt. And it's 8-2.
And this, if you're the Raiders, is exactly what you didn't want to see, a quick start out of the gate here by Morton. You got to get some buckets and some stops right here and keep this thing within about a 6-8 point range.
A high shooting percentage.
I think
That's going to be a foul on Morton.
I'm not 100% sure. There we go.
So here is Markham. Chance to pull E.Peoria a little closer here. First free throw is up and true.
I didn't even see it. I knew it was good. That's how good these rim mics are.
It's a nice sound. Another nice
There
sound.
it is again, just tickling that twine.
So it's 8-4, almost halfway through the first quarter.
Now they've got Ian Milstead out on the point of that 1-3-1.
Out of control. Tries to toss it up there. That was Altenberger with the drive. There's a 3-point shot. The Raiders have missed at least 3 of those tonight.
Yeah, that's maybe 4.
Baseline drive, Little. He'll take it all the way himself. Jared Little. And it's 10-4. They have not missed their opportunities. We've talked about that off and on this year. They have had some good looks, and they have converted. 10-4 Morton. Double team almost got a trap in the corner. Nice drive, goes with the left hand.
Finish
That's
by
a
Ian
really
Milstead.
nice
Wow.
job by Milstead. And the third Raider tonight to score makes it 10-6.
Probably could have had
Distribution
a
of the
foul
ball.
there. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Almost looks like a 2-1-2 now. Boy, Matt Ryder's really throwing the defenses at him here.
Markham with the rebound. Burtis across half court, fires it up ahead. There's another baseline drive up, and another nice shot by Milstead.
Be good to get him going early, get him some finishes with confidence, and hopefully get his, get him into that 15-point range. That should give
Raiders and scoring in the paint here.
Yeah. Well, and you'll notice the last 2 looks have come on takes to the hoop and not settling for that 3-pointer, and that's key.
Boy, that bounced all the way around and through an Altenberger.
Yep.
Just like that, when E.Peoria pulls it within 2, jumps back out 13-8.
I'm not sure there's a piece of real estate that ball didn't get on the rim.
No, agreed.
Everywhere around it.
Markham with the dish.
There we go.
To Burtis.
Jacob Burtis with 5 now.
Answers the 3 ball by Altenberger, and East Peoria's within 2. There's a big cross-court pass. 3 ball at the other end is up and off by Altenberger. And East Peoria will come across. They have played cleaner offensively. They have not been turning the ball over tonight. And there's Markham. And East Peoria has grabbed their first lead of the basketball game, 14-13, as we approach now 2 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. And that is good to see it. They're going to reach in foul. Are they going to get Trow? We'll have to wait and see who the foul is on.
Yeah, they got Trow on that one.
It's his second, correct?
Yeah, that'll be his second.
And he stays out, and in is.
They might not have given. They might not have given that to him. I thought I saw.
I think you're right.
I could have sworn I saw 2-4 on the ref's hands, but then again, I have horrible vision. So Starkey with both. That young man almost cost us a football game with the Wildcat formation, the hurry-up offense they were running back during football season. Thankfully, we got it under control and pulled out the win.
So we're seesawing the lead here. Potters back up a point. Ooh. Turnover, travel the call.
34, Stevens, number 10, Altenberger, return for Morton.
A little confusion on who's subbing in and who's subbing out for Morton. They sent 4 to the bench, but they're still a man short.
Line change.
No, there we go. Now we're good.
And Zach Ham throws it in to Little, and we are underway. Down to $1:40 in the first and opening quarter. That is going to be a foul based on body language on Crippen.
Fouls on 15, Black Crippen, his second, team fourth.
That is his second.
5, Bryce Markham returns for East
Markham
Peoria.
back in. And it goes way up top to Altenberger, and they threw it away. So right in front of their very own bench, East Peoria back in business here. Fairly fast-moving first quarter. Here's Burtis. The Milstead up top here. The Raiders working around the perimeter. He launches.
So long on that one. Nice board by
ball.
Bryce Markham, though.
Markham tried to throw it off Ham. Nice body control by Ham, and these Potters come away with it. Push off. Nothing called. Men on the ground. 2 guys on the floor. 3 ball. In the meantime, is up and good by Jared Little.
That's just one of those scrums. You know, people are stepping over people, trying not to step on them, and that's somebody getting left out to dry there.
As far as flow of the game, I'm okay with letting that play out.
Oh, David Perkins almost had a nice board there. As it is, it's going to be off Morton. Nice hustle.
More subs coming in here for the Potters.
Number 4, Starkey, number 25, Bolt, return for Morton.
Starkey and Bolt back in for Morton. Raiders under their hoop. Goes up to the top of the key. We're down to 45 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
Been a pretty high octane first quarter.
In a game where we expected some offensive struggles, we have not seen that.
No kidding. I mean,
East Peoria heating up here. They made their last couple of 3-pointers.
well, and you see that Jacob Burtis is playing with a lot more confidence now, and you can see he's hunting shots now, which is good. JB, when he's got a stroke going, he's pretty dangerous. You've got David Perkins in there who can take some shots.
See Milstead being more aggressive as well.
Yeah, and Ian, the important part for him has been to get to the rim, which he's done a couple times with some tough finishes, and that makes all the difference in the world as well.
So as we're down to 10 seconds here, look for a little inside out perhaps with Markham, but they will drive the baseline up off glass.
Oh,
off,
man. Boy, you're not going to get a better look
2
than
seconds
that.
left. 1 second. Final shot. And quarter number 1 rattles all the way in and all the way back out.
That would have been deadly.
Wow, 18-14. We are through 1 quarter at Allison Gym. We'll be back with the second quarter here on Eastside Community Television.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
And we are back for quarter number 2 in a more offensively fluent first quarter than perhaps we thought at the start. So the Raiders
That beat
have
all the
found their groove.
expectations I had, absolutely. I'm a little worried that Rainbow Jackson may be trying to control the weather, though, because that ball was definitely frozen in the open.
It was frozen. It's a little ominous.
Like
on
a
the
bad,
evening
yeah, a
of
bad
the
omen.
night. It is. Agreed. Potters won the sophomore game, 58-36, and the game was really tight at halftime. Pulled away at the end.
Some less than stellar refereeing in that one. That was very disappointing to see. I think, what, you counted 10 fouls over a 4-minute span or something?
Yeah, at least 9 in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Goodness gracious. There's no pace to the game when it's like that.
Nope, a little choppy.
On the other hand, this one has been very fluid.
There's Markham with the baseline drive. He'll take it himself, tries to draw the foul, and
I'm okay with that.
reset.
It's an aggressive move to the basket.
Yep. There's a 3-ball
Great
by
driving kick.
Milstead.
Oh, boy,
every
almost down.
Part again, and Morton will run at the other end. And there's a 3-ball set up short.
That's
That
5
was
boards for
Starkey.
Stevens now.
Ball on the ground, and that was a heads-up play to get that ball.
Jared
moved.
Brown wants a timeout. Little sloppy here.
And in a first quarter where we didn't see much of that, it has gotten a little bit sloppy here in the first 45 seconds or so. So I got trivia for you, Ben. And we've got
the trivia's back. Outstanding.
Random facts, but I've got trivia for you. I'm going to have you name the only city where all 3 major sports teams, and this is Major League Baseball, NFL, and NHL, all 3 teams have the same colors.
Wow.
I'll give you a hint that black and gold will bring you to your answer.
Pittsburgh.
You got it. Well played. I'm impressed. Did not take you very long.
I had to pull that off. Jim Mattson, the sports guru of the E.Peoria area, was right here. That's pressure. Jim would have never let me live that down if I hadn't answered that correctly.
Little on the Potters back in business here after the timeout. Looking to extend a 4-point lead. We have not seen any scoring here in the first minute or so of this
A little
quarter.
surprised they ran Bolt into the high post. I figured they'd run Stevens into the high post there and look for him. Carter Peckham into the game now for the Raiders there. He's guarding Starkey out on the perimeter.
This is the most patient Morton has been offensively as far as setting up an offense, and the Raiders trying to clamp down defensively. And
nice dish by Dan Bolt.
nice pass.
Finds Stevens down low. That's 6 points and 5 boards for him now in the early going here.
They have all been right there in that spot. Here's a turnover. We're going to get Beckham for the travel.
Raiders getting just a little impatient now. A couple of traveling calls there, just,
Pushed him a bit offensively here, trying.
What's the old John Wooden saying about don't hurry? I There's your sports trivia. I can't talk. I don't even know the answer. Credit to Morton here being really patient. Ooh, that one up off the board.
Still on the floor. Scrum
nice
underneath.
hustle by Carter Peckham to go down and get that. Great job.
Comes up with it. Milstead across the half court. 3-ball way wide.
There
open.
he is,
Three.
Jacob
Burtis.
Burtis. 7 points and 3 boards for him right now, so he's heating up. If we can get him and Milstead into that 15-point range, that's going to be a good night offensively for the Raiders. Like what they're doing at the 1-3-1 here, extending it out, taking away that passing zone at the top of the key.
Good ball movement to find the open 3, and that 3-point shot is up and good by Little again. He's got 8 points tonight.
That's 8 for him now, yes. Good to lead all scorers.
Extends the lead to 6 points.
Seems like we just can't get over that hump. We'll get within a, 1, a 3, something like that.
Morton has answered tonight.
That they have. Nice
drive.
take by Jacob Burtis.
Potters come away with it. Bolt himself.
That was a great job by Bolt there, just to pull that up and nail that jumper.
So back to the biggest lead of the ball game. It's an 8-point, 25-17 lead for Morton.
And again, you have to answer here and then get a stop at the other end. I mean, there's just no three ways about
That's
it.
a really long three-point shot. Up and true.
And that's a really swish three-point shot, sir.
Milstead.
Nice job by Ian. Actually got a good look at that. Saw that ball come off his fingertips. Just had a good feeling about that going in.
They're going to get little on that.
Jacob Burtis, I think, on the closeout. Yep.
Oh, foul. Okay,
Yeah,
foul
Jacob
on
Burtis
East
closed
Peoria.
out a little too hard on the shot fake there, and kind of tried to put his butt into Altenberger as he drove by.
So Morton under their own bench. That was a push.
A little charge there by Bolt.
Turnaround jump shot up and off. Tipped away.
Drew Trout missed time in the jump, but fortunately, turnover there.
Ahead it goes to Starkey, and then the pass back the other way. We'll see which way this goes. That's going to be a little going to the free throw line, it looks like.
And that's going to be on Trout. I think that's 2 on Trout.
Fouls on 24, Drew Trout. It's his second, team 6.
Yep. Team 6 for the Raiders, so Morton will be in the bonus the rest of the half here. Last 4 minutes, 17 seconds.
And the 6-foot senior misses the first free throw.
40, Jacob Teagard subbed in for the Raiders.
Teagarden in for the Raiders.
It's a tough matchup for Jacob. Stevens is pretty big, pretty athletic.
Little makes the second.
We should have checked the ball. That thing would have told us if it was going to snow or not. That was high enough to bring
That
ice
was
down.
a very arching shot. And we are again halfway through the quarter. That's a 3-ball that's up and long. Rattle around in there. Altenberger.
Nice job by Altenberger to pull
Gives
that
it
out
up.
and not force it.
Little dribble.
Wow.
And the ball stayed. He drove to the basket. Ball stayed put and goes out of bounds. So East Peoria gets it back. Perkins had some good minutes there.
Yeah, and
Looked
I'd like
good.
to see him find David a couple more shots. You know, he's probably our best three-point shooter, but, and there, speak of the devil, and nice take by David, too.
Came in behind and about got that himself.
Boy. You can see his teammates were just surprised to see it coming right at him and just Bill Bucknered it. Wow.
I like the Bill Buckner reference.
Oof,
Oh
boy.
my. 3-ball
That's-
by Altenberger.
there's just no defense
There's
for that. I mean,
touch. And
6 for him, both on three-pointers.
Biggest lead of the ball game. It's 29-20. Favor of Morton.
And this is, again, so key. You got to come up with something here before halftime, get this down to 4 or 5 points, and give yourself a chance in the second half after you make some adjustments.
They confer on who they're going to call the foul on.
That's only the second foul of the half on Morton. My goodness.
They're going to get
Fouls on
Dan Bolt.
25, Bolt. It's his first, team 2nd.
Ham will check back in for the Potters. Free throw here. I missed it. That's a good noise.
13, Ham subs in for Morton.
Is it just my imagination, or did we have an issue last year with teams missing free throws at the west basket, hitting free throws at the east basket?
We did.
And that seems to be holding true again. We'll have to monitor that in the second half, because the Raiders have been pretty good here at the line in the first half on our end.
It's been a couple of three-point shots at this end, too,
Yeah.
that seem halfway down and then come back out. Nice defensive stop.
And that's exactly what you needed. Now Jacob Burtis needs to take care of this, although he just bowled everybody over.
Three-point shot up and long. Holy
Holy
moly
cow. Wow, Altenberger from about, I mean, that's 25, 30 feet. Holy cow.
That is one of the longest purposeful
Yeah,
shots
he
we've
took
seen.
the shot to close the third quarter, for the first quarter, from about the same spot. I mean, he was every bit in front of Matt right there.
So it's 32-22, a 10-point lead. Do need to drop this to single digits here in the last couple minutes. Raiders have responded in the first quarter with a nice little run of their own, a couple three-point shots. Potter's doing a nice job. Not a lot of open looks here the last couple possessions for East Peoria.
Well, they've done a nice job of shutting down the drive. Now, you know, when they drive that baseline, there's somebody there waiting for them, and that's, you know, that's what's changed the whole offense here. And as a result, now you see us reduced to running the weave out front. Just a little hesitant to take anything. So nice take by Milstead there.
I believe it's going to be a blocking foul, though.
Yeah.
Could have certainly gone either way with he lowered his shoulder, but they will give it to Morton. So as you mentioned, just the third, but it will be a shooting foul.
That free throw puts Ian Milstead in the double digits with 10.
That one rattles out. Stevens with the big rebound. He'll give it up to Little, and
that's his 8th board. He's and there's Altenberger. He is clearly wow. Third three-pointer of the quarter, 4th for the game. He's got 12 now to lead all scorers. My goodness, he is feeling it right now.
35-23.
And Altenberger's that kind of kid. When he gets hot like that, he's gonna look for his shot.
3, 4, 5 in a row.
Exactly. He can feel it right now.
And a miscommunication in the Raider offensive set. Throws out of bounds. So Morton will have the basketball back.
Number 12, Carter Penman, subs in for East Peoria.
.106 to go now in the half. If Altenberger pulls from here, we're in trouble.
Hey, we are.
I think that's why you saw Jacob Burtis pick him up beyond the volleyball line there. But there he is.
There it is.
Goodness.
Misses that one.
That's a little bit of a heat check. That was from about 30 feet, and he didn't have any momentum.
No.
He hit the first one because he was still going toward the hoop there, but you gotta have some forward momentum there, especially when you're his size. To quote Chris Farley, him just a low guy.
Him is. So the Raiders patiently taking it up the court here, down 12. We're looking for a look to perhaps knock it down to 9. 35 seconds left to go.
Nice job to find it. Jacob Teagard in the high post there.
They have just shut down that baseline, as you mentioned. There's just nothing there. So the Raiders down to 20 seconds left. Need a good look here. This is a relevant possession to tighten things up a bit.
Boy,
11 seconds.
And the Potters have really turned up the overall defensive intensity.
Oh, outlet pass gave up a obvious open.
Goodness.
That rattles around and through, and everything going the Potter way. Jared Little, it looked like they had wasted their chance to throw down an easy layup, but instead,
what we said about that rim being unforgiving on the
they
bounce.
recover, and they now lead this thing 38-23 at the break. And we will be back with the second half here on East Side Community Television.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet. $50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me.
What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates.
Plates?
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
Good evening. Good evening, and thank you for coming out tonight. It means a lot. At this time, we're going to welcome somebody that really doesn't need any introduction. He's done so much for this school, so much for me, so much for all the coaches, and so much for all the athletes. Before I hand this over to Alex, On behalf of EPCHS, we would like to welcome Coach Mike.
Coach Mike is the son of Mel and Rosemary Ramage. He graduated from E.Peoria Community High School in 1975, where he was a 4-year manager for the football, boys basketball, and boys track team. Beginning in 2002, Coach Mike took back the reins as manager for the EPCHS football, boys basketball, and boys baseball teams. Coach Mike has aided many head coaches here at E.Peoria, including Mark Props, Josh Johnson, Matt Plummer, Ron Kelch, Kevin Metzger, and Matt Wright. Coach Mike may serve as a manager, but his duties and loyalties go much deeper. He is a friend of the coaches, the administrators, and the athletes. He wants to see the kids of East Peoria succeed, but also do and act the right way. Although Coach Mike roots for the Bears and the Cardinals, he is without a doubt the #1 Raider fan. No one takes losses harder, and no one is more thrilled with a Raider win. He is an ambassador for the school, the community, and the student athletes of East Peoria. Coach Mike has volunteered thousands of hours over the past 12 years and asks nothing back. For his efforts and loyalty, the community, the coaches, the athletes, the school, and the Booster Club would at this time like to welcome Coach Mike into the EPCHS Booster Club Hall of Fame. At this time, will everyone please rise and give a big Raider round of applause to Coach Mike Ramage.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs, just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to the second half. Boy, we are just ready to roll, and we are underway.
That is great timing.
And quarter number 3. Morton Potters have added to what was an 18-14 lead at the end of 1 by scoring 20 more points in the second quarter. So they have found their rhythm offensively. The Raiders started hot and had cooled down a bit. Here's a 3 ball to start the second quarter, and it bounces over the top of the backboard and out of bounds. You have to hit it just right to bounce it all the way out of bounds. Like that.
You do.
So we are 30 seconds gone by here and trading possessions.
Raiders come out in a little bit more of a traditional 2-3, although Drew Trout checking that high post there.
Little 3-ball up and rattles out.
Altenberger there with a nice
Another
dish.
3.
And there it is. Starkey cannon 3 of his own.
Starkey with the 3-ball. And it is 41-23. Starting to get seriously away from the Raiders here. Up to an 18-point lead here.
And this is, you know, you're not going to get this all back at once. You can't there, and that's a perfect example. That's a great dump down to Bryce Markham. You know, you're not going to get all this back at once. Take your time, choose your baskets, and go from there.
So nice possession by the Raiders. Big cross-court pass. Starkey will go to the left hand, a little inside out, free throw. Just beyond the free throw line. That one does not go, and the Raiders come away with it again. Milstead.
Ooh, a little sloppy there.
Another nice drive. Milstead with the touch. He has played well tonight.
It's 11 for him now. And he's gotten most of it going to the basket. Nice job by Brock Griffin.
Yeah, they got away with that on the last possession. The Raiders said, nah, this time. And a 2-point shot, and the Raiders making a little run here. Jacob Burtis.
And there's 10 for Jacob Burtis. So Milstead and Burtis both in double figures. Any other night, that's a good sign. But, boy, Morton has just been too hot from the outside to make a difference.
Picks up the dribble in the backcourt. And the Potters getting a little bit sloppy here with some of their passes. Turnaround jump shot and a whistle.
Drew Trout leaving the hands up there a little longer to show he was straight up, and he was. His third, team first of the second half.
Now we'll send Stevens to the line. Started hot, a couple early baskets for Stevens, and he has cooled off a bit. He's got 6 points tonight, and at the free throw line here, makes the first. Second one is up and good. Can't get better than that.
That's 8 and 8 for him now on the rebounds and points.
Raiders.
Nice look by Jacob Burtis
inside. That was a nice move underneath. A little short on the shot, but Crippen with a nice little look inside. Morton basketball.
Tell you what, the Potters have gotten a little careless right now.
They have.
But can't foul them.
Fouls on 5. Nice mark out with his second, team second.
So in it goes to Little. The Potters set things up. Raiders pretty aggressive here defensively. They have been whistled for a couple of fouls, but they look good defensively. Fall away jump shot. Starkey again.
Now he's heating up with 5 here in the quarter.
So it's 45-29. Raiders had cut it down to a 12-point lead. As that clock continues to wind. There he is. Mr. Markham.
That's 10 for Bryce now, too. So 3 Raiders in double figures, and yet we still trailed by 13. If you would have told me that would happen going into tonight, I would have told you were crazy. We were going to win this ball game. Just unreal.
We have seen teams kind of find that hot shooter tonight.
And there went one of them right there. Nice rebound by Jacob Burtis. That's 5 for him in this game. Nice job by JB to stay on the boards.
That will cut it down to a 10-point basketball game.
Why not? Markham and Milstead each with 5 now in the opening minutes of the third quarter here. Well, I shouldn't say opening minutes. We're more than halfway through the quarter. Raiders trying to hang around.
Another 3-ball. We are just trading trifectas. Altenberger. Heard that name a couple times tonight.
Matt Ryan, what's the timeout? That was Altenberger's 5th 3, so we referenced the 6 in the opening quarter. And Chapter in the opening remarks, and he's on his way to topping that tonight. Total of, let's see here, 8 3-pointers by Morton and 6 by the Raiders. So 14 total 3 balls here tonight. So out of our 83 points, 42 of them
certainly seems the direction we're going for the rest of the night as well. Nice ceremony with a little Hall of Fame induction.
Indeed.
Tonight. Nice to see that.
Yeah, Mike Ramage getting inducted into the East Peoria Booster Club Hall of Fame. There's not a more deserving man in East Peoria, you know. I mean, as they referenced in the opening, Coach Mike gives so much time to this school and to the student athletes of this school. I mean, you even see him while school is still in session, sitting down on the bench in the atrium, you know, joking with the kids that they've got hall passes, stuff like that. So it's truly something that he loves to do, and the fact that we were able to honor him tonight and put him in the Hall of Fame, just so fitting and so deserving for Coach Mike. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. So hope everybody enjoyed that ceremony at halftime, and if you see Mike around town, which I guarantee you almost do, because he might as well be the mayor. No offense to Mayor Mingus, but definitely a much-deserved honor. Ian Milstead probably could have gotten a foul there.
He had contact and was curious about it himself, I think. There's Altenberger again. Didn't really get set.
Boy.
Well, he is quick to fire that thing, but he's out of bounds, so that'll go back to East Peoria. So they'll set things back up to the Raider end.
A little bit of a heat check there for Altenberger. Hopefully that makes him a little more cautious. Maybe we can talk him out of a few shots there. Wow, they almost got Drew Trowell in the illegal pick there. Or could have. And thankfully it's going to go on Altenberger.
It is, I think, going to go on Altenberger.
Yeah,
we haven't seen a lot of those. That was a ticky-tack from the perspective
of
tonight.
He grabbed going around the pick, and that's going to get you every time, especially when you extend the arm like that. So nice look inside.
Pass underneath.
That's a lost art, passing between the posts. That's really tough to do. Glad to see Drew get that one down.
So Trout brings the Raiders within 11. 2.5 minutes left to go in the quarter.
What, are we down 18 at one point? So
we were 18 down.
Nice little run.
Fight for the rebound. That's going to go back to East Peoria.
11, Rossi subs in for the Potters.
Rossi in for the Potters. He will replace Jake Starkey. And East Peoria trying to cut it down to single digits here on this possession.
I can't be 100% certain because Starkey hasn't been in this game much, but it looked like he was grabbing his right hamstring before he even checked into the game. So I don't know if that's something he's coming off of, but he certainly did not look loose and ready to go. We'll see if we can exploit that a little bit here.
Oh, that was a great no-look pass. Lost it out of bounds with the reach in, but it'll go back to East Peoria.
That was a great pass by Ian Milstead. Such a great look.
There it is to Milstead.
Boy, if he would have waited just a second, he might have had that shot there because the pick was coming.
He'll take that one. That one's off. That's out of bounds. And Morton will get it back.
Brock Crippen a little quiet tonight for my liking. Would like to see Brock maybe have a few more opportunities in the post, whether they're looking for him or getting the putbacks, but see if we can't get him some touches here in the last 9.5 minutes of this ball game.
Morton a little more methodical this trip. Another dangerous pass.
And that's going to leave somebody open. That's where you got to beware.
Up under layup, good. Isaac Stevens.
That's 10 for Stevens now to go along with 9 boards, so he's closing in on that double-double. Trout with a great take.
Nice look. Potters come away with it.
Dan Bolt with a nice board there for the Potters. He walked. There we go.
14,
Ooh, Jacob Burtis a little slow getting up there, a little wince.
Oh, grimace getting up.
The old chest contusion there. Don't want to see that.
13, Ham subs in for Morton.
Ham in, Tucker Anderson in for the Potters, and we are down to 52 seconds left to go in quarter number 3.
Like to see him get it to 10 here. 10 points. You can chase 10 in the fourth quarter. It's not unheard of.
Nice open
there it is. Beautiful look for Ian Milstead. 8 in the period now. 18 for the game for Ian, so he's trying to match Ryan Altenberger for all he's worth here. Ryan Altenberger been strangely silent for the last half of this quarter or so.
And that Raider defense, oh my, looked close. Will be a reach-in foul. Is Milstead going to get the foul on that?
Fouls on 10, Milstead. It's his first, team third.
It is his first.
Notice they have toned down the fouls though in this half. Hopefully I haven't jinxed us, but
nice time for a stop here defensively. 10-point lead, 20 seconds left. Raiders have looked good defensively in this quarter.
Held them to 12 this quarter, so you can't fault them on that one. Nice job by Ian Milstead to prevent Little from getting the ball there. Got to be real careful. Altenberger here coming to the top of the key. There he is. Nice job of denial there.
Big drop and
nice job by Jacob Teagard. That was a beautiful job of defense by Jacob Teagard there. Controlled his body, went up and got the ball, and the Raiders will take a 10-point deficit to the fourth quarter here.
Spring fundraiser tickets on sale. Only 2 days remaining. They're for sale outside in the main foyer at the Booster Club table.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please.
Don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
We're back to the fourth and final quarter. The Raiders have cut into what was once an 18-point lead and now a 50-40 ball game. And it's interesting watching Isaac Stevens tonight, Ben, that he has not been stopped inside all night long until that very last possession that Morton had. So a nice defensive stop by East Peoria.
And that's a great job by the junior Jacob Teagard, the sophomore Jacob Teagard. You can see him. He's coming along, really making the most of this varsity experience. And there's
another great drive.
Great drive, almost finished the left hand. Jacob Teagard just couldn't come out the offensive rebound.
Altenberger all the way himself. He
Wow.
go to the free throw line.
That's a tough finish there.
Fouls on 14, Perkins is his first, team fourth.
Crippen with the foul. 3-point opportunity here.
Curiously enough, that's his first 2-point basket of the night. But it's a 3-point play, so he has 18. He and Ian Milstead both tied for game-high honors right now.
And it's the Raiders' turn. Here's Milstead, little contact there. The Raiders run that 3-point line with the passing game. Tipped away, knocked out of bounds. It'll be East Peoria basketball as they almost sail into the scorer's table.
Gary Ghanem had to be light on his feet there to get the ball back in play. Not sure why Gary's not serving as the official scorer for this one. I don't recognize the gentleman who is.
Pass is picked off by Bolt.
Credit the Raiders tonight. That's just one of the few out-and-out turnovers that they've had tonight. I think we're still
agree.
easily in single digits. We're probably right around 5 right now. I haven't been keeping exact track, but
Lots of
Goodness.
contact underneath.
Holy
All kinds of bodies sailing. Trying to get in position.
14, David Perkins is his second, team fifth.
Some more free throws here.
Perkins gets
Jared
called
Little.
the foul. That's his second.
He is 1 for 2. According to my numbers tonight, he's got that high arcing free throw. He's got one more. Line change.
That's a little hard because we haven't shot a free throw, but Morton is currently a perfect 4 of 4 at the line on this end.
Those are awfully high.
Man.
Arched shots. 55-40, back to a 15-point deficit.
And that's what Morton needed to do coming out of the quarter break. You know, the E.Peoria's got a little momentum. That's how you finish a ball game. I mean, that's just how you do it.
Perkins with the miss, and the Potters bring the ball back. Seen a lot of 1-and-outs tonight.
Yeah, the Potters have really controlled the boards here.
Is that about the 4th foul call we've had since we mentioned that we haven't had a lot of?
Yeah, I'm that guy. You know, I've got the rebounds even at 15-15, but Morton with far more second chance points tonight. So.
Hit every part.
Nice job by Jacob Teagarden to come down to that board.
Milstead almost ran past it, able to control it. He'll turn around and somehow get a good-looking 3 off. And 1 shot again for E.Peoria. We have 6 minutes of basketball left. Starkey. We get different gadgets that give us our information every week. I like this.
We're fancy.
Gig. We are fancy. I'll probably turn off by the time we get a chance to read it.
Nice block by Teagarden. That's 6'7" versus 5'10". That's probably a generous 5'10" on Altenberg, because I'm pretty sure he looks me in the eye at practice every Sunday. So that's.
That one does not fall. We trade misses here the last couple of possessions.
Nice touch pass by David.
That's about it.
Nice up fake.
Another nice little fake.
Oh, boy.
Dangerous pass. Nice drive up. Foul. Ooh, gee whiz. Well, we'll take it. It's going to give that to Jared Little, I believe.
Fouls on 3. Little, that's his first. Team second.
Team second. Potters have hardly fouled tonight.
You know, I was just thinking that. I have 1 player each with 5 fouls for them total. That's unreal.
Number 5, Bryce Markham returns for E.Peoria.
First free throw on the unforgiving rim.
Yeah, sure enough. There you go. That's a miss.
Second one is good.
15, Brock Crippen returns for E.Peoria.
Crippen back for the Raiders. 14-point basketball game. 5:25 left to go. Potters have cooled considerably in this second half, but enough just to keep bumping that lead up a bit. Turnaround shot up, and more great defense underneath.
There you go. Cannot argue with that.
Was that not Milstead? And a pick at the other end. The Raiders come away with it.
Nice look up court by Jacob Burtis.
Raiders with a nice ball movement on this possession. Markham will go baseline. He'll pick up the foul.
Wow, that's pretty. that's a pretty light foul on Altenberger there.
Fouls on 10. Altenberger, that's his second, team third.
Here comes the first Morton Potter in.
He's in foul trouble. He's got
fouls.
2.
Yeah, he's got to get him out. He's got 2.
4 minutes left in the game. Batted away. Nice defensive stop by Stevens. Starkey bouncing around now.
Nice board by Milstead.
Boy, he has been tremendous all over, and Little will get his second foul. A couple of Potters in foul trouble now. 2.
It's an epidemic. It's a freaking epidemic.
And we have a timeout on the floor. 55-41. We have more technology that tells us that our producer and director of tonight's telecast is Andrew Harvey. Camera, we have Brett Wagner, Daryl Dixon, and Susan Dixon. Audio and Gopher, spelled wrong, but Gopher nonetheless is Mark Laswell, right?
I think when it's a gopher like that, it means gopher.
Gopher. True.
Yeah.
Graphics, Rainbow Jackson, and our theme music tonight is being provided by Grand Funk Railroad, Boom Mike, Eddie Money, who is semi-retired at this point in his life.
The last time I saw Eddie Money, he had been contracted to play at a white supremacist rally and was not aware of it. It was one of those on like CBS. And they ambushed the poor guy, and he was He was not aware that the group he had been contracted to play for was a
What a way
white
to go out.
supremacist group. And he may have concluded with the check cleared, so that's really all that matters.
And coming out of the timeout, well, that was a nice defensive play. Altenberger, and equally nice defensive play by Milstead, who really had mostly ball, looked like to me.
All ball. Sir, we have monitors up here if you would like to check.
So free throws from here on out. This is not somebody you really want being sent to the free throw line. Altenberger. Oh, wow.
Well.
Let me say that one more time.
That is the first miss for the Potters on this end. They had made their first 5 here in the second half.
The sound we expected. Second one is up and good. So it's 56-41. 4.5 minutes left to go. Boy, we are picking up the pace of Whistle Mania. Rossi. So 4:25 certainly affects that clock moving.
Yeah, we're going to be in danger of shooting free throws both ways the rest of the game if this doesn't stop soon.
Nice pass underneath. There's another foul.
It's going to be on Stevens.
Teagarden will send Teagarden to the free throw line here. That rattles around and falls out.
Number 12, Carter Peckham, subs in for E.Peoria.
Beckham in. Looks like Trowell's coming back in. That rattles all the way through and in.
24, Drew Trowell, returning for E.Peoria.
He will replace the free throw shooter, Jacob Teagarden. And it's a 14-point lead. Raiders applying some pressure here for the first time in a while.
Yeah, now you got to chase some points here, but you'll notice they didn't even need Altenberger to get that ball inbounds. They just let him kind of come get it, be the third option there.
So we are almost halfway through this fourth and final quarter. The Raiders looking for a big stop here. Markham almost with the pick there, got a hand on it. As the Potters continue to run clock. Altenberger back out.
Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty content to pull this ball out and play little 4 corners here. Wow, that was...
And they are going to get a reach and foul, I believe, on Burtis.
That was the most delayed foul ever. And again, I'm not sure he didn't have the whole ball there. Altenberger kind of showed it. Tim Brownlee saying he gave him a shoulder as he went by, but that wasn't possible.
They're going to call Trow.
Wow. That's 4 on Drew, unfortunately.
14, David Perkins. Number 15, Brock Crippen, return to the Raiders.
We are in free throw shooting time here. First one by Dan Bolt is up and in. Bolt with one more. That clangs hard off the back of the iron. And the Raiders have the basketball. I've seen 1 and outs on both ends.
A lot of them, yeah. It's a real credit to the Raiders that they've had the rebound advantage that they've had, or not the advantage, but the fact they're even playing even on the boards is huge. I mean, there's not a lot that Matt Wright can fault tonight. I mean, they just fell victim to a hot shooting Morton team. Everything that he wanted to do, they did. Don't turn it over, shoot it well. This is one of those things.
Number 12, Carter Peckham, subs in for E.Peoria.
One of a few mistakes by Milstead tonight.
Markham, also subs in for E.Peoria.
Last score I had, Washington was going to the fourth quarter leading by 7 over Pekin, 37-30. 44-37 now. Looks like Washington will come in here tomorrow night with a chunk of the middle line, I lead in hand.
Speaking of teams that, well, they're not showing it tonight, but teams that can shoot the basketball, put some points up. Little. Free throws for the Potters. Who was it from Bradley? Greg Powell, I want to say. High, huge arching free throws.
That sounds like it predates me. I didn't start following Bradley until about 92.
One more for Little. High arcing shot is true. He's 5 out of 6. I've got it for 5 out of 6 with that arch.
You are correct, sir.
It's 59-42. And we're under 3 minutes. Baseline drive, Markham. Foul, check, foul. Altberger again.
Yep. It's going to be his third.
Foul on 10. Altberger, this is his third. Team 7.
Send Bryce Marker, pardon me, Brock Tripp into the line here.
With his opportunity for his first points of the evening. Well done on the first. He's got one more. The knee bend, the shot up and good. He makes both free throws.
Number 12, Carter Penham, subs in for the Raiders.
We have Potter down on the floor. And it is Altberger. Fell and hit the back of his head. It was grabbing his head. So we will stop play to make sure
the eyes
he
are
is
water
okay.
in there.
He will head to the bench momentarily. Looks like Starkey will come in for him.
Sarah McDaniel's going to check him out on the concussion protocol. Ryan begging and pleading not to get checked out.
She says, get back here, please.
That's not a lady
So the
I would
body
cross.
language is, okay, I'll go.
Looks like they're going to take him back to the locker room and run him through the protocol there. And that's, you know, unfortunately, that's just a part of today's game. It's a good addition, but.
Fouls on 3. Jacob Burtis with his second, team 10.
Burtis with the foul. Back to the free throw line for Morton is Dan Bolt. He made 1 out of 2.
And that's just one of those things, especially, you know, the IHSA recently sued by an athlete out of suburban Chicago over concussions, just like the lawsuits we've seen at the pro level.
It is so hard to prove that we know now. I mean, you can't retroactively know information that is current.
You know, that's that's almost like a you know, a cancer patient saying, you know, why didn't you treat me with this when it didn't exist, you know, 20, 30 years ago, you know.
And we're still learning the after effects and the severity of the after effects, if they are consistent with concussions or if they're consistent with other things in life. Crippen with a nice 3 ball. Raiders applying that pressure. It's 60-47. Fight left in the Raiders here.
And you know, here's the other thing. I mean, if concussions are that prevalent now, I have to assume that back then they were just as prevalent and people played through them. So what's the difference between today and back then? Like,
the implication to follow that through is if it would be in epidemic proportions. If it is as terrible as, and the tens of thousands of young people playing high contact sports. And football tends to get the brunt of the attention, but you can't tell me that soccer is not equally responsible.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey isn't equally responsible, not as popular around here, but it is a highly competitive sport.
And a high contact sport. I mean, they're still out in the hallway running Altberger through those protocols. Nice left-handed finish there by Ian. 61-49 now. Matt Wright's going to grab a timeout, try to draw something up here that's going to keep cutting this deficit down.
So the Raiders continue to fight. stay close here, within 12. 2:04 left to go.
This is kind of an interesting viewpoint here. I can see Sarah McDaniels and Ryan Altenberger out in the main hallway, in the TP hallway here at Allison Gym, but I can only see them from about the knees down. But I can see her putting Ryan through the protocols as they go through this. He just had one foot in front of the other. I'm sure she was checking his balance and maybe tracking his eyes. They're going to head back into the gym here. I think Ryan might be done for the night, just as a safety precaution. I don't think she would have found anything. We'll see if she says anything here to Jarrett Brown. Can't tell if Jarrett's talking about putting him back in the game.
He looks to be waiting for permission almost to make that happen. A timeout, Morton, prior to what would have been a turnover.
Could be a 30-second timeout there by Jarrett Brown.
Well, as you see on the screen there, the scoreboard is lit up. We will be shooting free throws for both teams from here on out. Both cheer squads try to get their crowds fired up. Kind of a low-key crowd tonight on a chilly, blustery, snow potential evening.
Be interesting to see if that rolls in tomorrow night. Or tomorrow, rather. Oh, now we're under. Nope, that's a different place. Sorry. I was going to say we're under a winter storm warning, but my phone thinks I'm in Marion, Illinois.
Yeah.
There's not much.
You know, we're not
there,
to travel tonight, perhaps. So Bolt will be handed the ball in front of the Raider bench, in front of a lot of traffic. He gets it in to Altenberger. So they're going to get a 5-second call on that?
14,
looks like it.
15, Brock Griffin, sub in for the Raiders.
And we're down to $1:46 here in the contest. Look for some open three balls here. A little inside.
Ooh, that was a chance right there.
Clock continues to wind.
There we go.
There's a good looking three. All the way around. Literally around the rim. It does not go.
Put a good spin on it.
Altenberger. Go back to the free throw line.
Fouls on 10 in Milstead. It's his third.
Third on Milstead. And Altenberger.
Right back at the line.
We'll see.
I think he's okay.
I think he seems to still have his touch.
22, Vince subs in for the Potters.
That's an even 20 now for the sophomore. Make that 21.
Ooh. Just lost the handle, and here comes Altenberger all the way himself.
23.
Number 10, Altenberger.
That extends it to 65-49, minute
just like
16.
That, he comes back in the game, and bada boom, bada bing, you're down.
Quick spark offensively for the Potters when they needed it to finish this thing off. So we're down to the last minute. There's another reach in, and one more time Altenberger will head to the charity stripe, trying to add to that total tonight. I am curious where Mr. Laswell is gophering tonight. He must be heading out the back because I've not seen him. Not that I could have.
We have not gotten any snacks from Walmart.
We've not.
There's been no beverages and no snack service. If this were a cross-country flight, I'd be furious.
They have not made their way out here.
Surely the folks at home wouldn't mind if we notched along in some Chex Mix or something.
They would never know. A flurry of subs.
Now they're teasing us over the headphones. I hear cupcakes.
Perhaps some freshly baked bread. Is that what I
smell? Is that banana nut bread I hear? Trefsker's cupcakes. I married into that Trefsker, sir, and I know Trefsker's cupcakes. No, sir, not Trefsker's cupcakes.
Three ball up and long. Ham with the rebound for the Potters, up to Altenberger. And we're down to 45 seconds. There will be a quick timeout to get some more kids into the ball game.
Number 11, Rossi, subs in for the Potters.
I hear just mumbles from Mr. Laswell. He could probably
I heard something about
do
jealous.
a PA announcing it at some point. "32 seconds left to go in the contest. Little inside out, running the clock down. Under 30 seconds to go. Raiders content to let this run down. It is 66 to 49. And we may just see the last 20 seconds or so wind all the way
I think it will,
down.
absolutely.
Barring a turnover or a reach in here by the Raiders. 10 seconds left to go. Here's a drive. They'll take it to the hoop. And the Raiders are going to get the last shot of this ball game. 4 seconds left. 3, 2. Fadeaway shot off and short.
Vernon Curtis with the fadeaway there.
And it is a 66-49 final. Nice fight by the Raiders. Tried to stick around, but they did run into a hot shooting team that put 66 points on the board in this Mid-Illini Conference action, and that is going to be your final. We got another one tomorrow. Washington in town.
That'll be an interesting one. We will look forward to tomorrow.
So that'll do it for tonight. Your final once again, 66-49 Raider basketball. Thanks to our crew, Andrew Harvey, Brett Wagner, Daryl Dixon, Susan Dixon, Mark Laswell, Rainbow Jackson, and the fine folks that help with our theme music, boom mics, and snacks. Until next time, you've been watching basketball on Eastside Community Television.